What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up, and you're now tuned in to CFO Sports. So salute to everybody in the building. I got Sadiq in the building. I got Life's Crazy in the building. My guy Mike's in the building. TC915 is in the building. Thomas is in the building. Everybody's in the building as we prepare for Monday night to kick off versus the New York Giants. And I'm going to ask y'all this. Let me know in the chat, right? Is this rivalry week? I don't think it's rivalry week, right? But we're playing a division foe, and we want to beat them, right? And I feel like this is going to be a very important game. So we're going to talk about a lot tonight. We're going to take a look about the pros and the cons, the keys to victory. We're also going to dive into some film, not too much crazy film I want to bore y'all. And then we're going to turn on the phone lines and just talk Dallas Cowboys football, man. But I'm extremely excited for this game, y'all. Y'all know I was out there versus the Cincinnati Bengals. It was an interesting game, to say the least, man. But Cowboys Nation showed up. Now, I will say this, right? It got off to a slow start. That building, y'all, was empty on Sunday. I was like, is anyone showing up? So we kick off. I'm just like, all right, what's going on? And then Cowboys fans start to fill in a little bit mid to the first quarter, man. So, Cowboys fans who were there, they showed up and they represented, and the Cowboys got away with the W. But it's time to move on. We got a division foe coming up with the New York Giants, who is 2-0. And we got to go out there and play some ball. So, a few notes today. There could be a possibility, y'all. We could see Michael Gallup return. I know Mike McCarthy kind of spoke about it. Jerry Jones kind of spoke about it. But there could be a possibility you could see Michael Gallup out there on Monday. So, I've kind of been saying on this channel and other channels, right, I don't want to press Michael Gallup. I want him to take his time and come back fully healthy. But what it sounds like, he's going to give it a go. And we've seen other players around the NFL, right? We've seen what Chris Godwin was able to do week one. He was able to come back kind of early from the injury. So these players are healing a lot faster than typically, historically speaking. So to get Michael Gallup back would be a huge boost to our offense. My guy Life's Crazy said, I still think it's too early. Yeah, I still, I'm still kind of queasy about it, right? But at this point, y'all, with Dak out, Tyron Smith out, you lose Connor McGovern, you get Dalton Schultz, who could possibly play. He's a little banged up, right? We're at the point, man, we need all hands on deck because we got to continue to keep this season afloat until we can get Dak Prescott back. So if they think that Michael Gallup is ready to return and it's not going to be a risk to itself in the future of the season, I'm all for it, but we shall see, man. But some interesting topics as well. Jerry Jones had came out and said something, gibberish about Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott. And me personally, I kind of understood what Jerry Jones was saying. But of course, people are going to always blow things up when Jerry Jones speaks. And he said that, in order for it to be a QB competition in Dallas, right, that Cooper Rush would have to win 10 games and kind of show that he is on Dak Prescott's level. And he said, I would welcome a quarterback controversy, meaning he was saying, I would love to win 10 games, and we're having a question, in week 12 or week 13, should we move on from Cooper Rush and bring Dak Prescott? That's what he was saying. So it wasn't any slight to Dak. What he was saying that Cooper Rush has a lot to prove before he can be on Dak Prescott's level. But of course, people run with it. But I'm going to share something with y'all. And, I didn't share this with anybody else. I promise y'all this has been J Tuck exclusive, right? So y'all going to be the first people to ever hear about this. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to go public with it. But I'm just going to talk to y'all because we family, right? So Sunday, I was at the game. I was down there in the Miller Lite area, where the players come out. And I was talking to a few people, salute to Mrs. Price and some others, just handshaking, having a good old time before the game. Jerry Jones comes out, and this is no myth. This is no lie. We are keeping it real. He comes by, and I'm talking to Jerry Jones, and he's talking to my mother, right? And my mom's like, yo, Jerry, I need a job. And he said, can you run or can you catch? And she was like, no, I'm talking about a job in the front office when I retire. And guess what Jerry Jones says, y'all? Go ahead. I just want to see what y'all think Jerry Jones said. Go ahead, comment in the chat. Let me know what y'all think Jerry Jones' reply was when my mom said she wanted a job in the front office. Guess. I'm gonna give y'all a second to go ahead and guess, because it caught me off guard, right? Caught me off guard. Y'all ready for this? This is shocking. This is news breaking. No one has heard this except a few people who I shared it with. Jerry Jones's response is, I'm going to be needing a new head coach soon. Yeah. He says to my mother, I'll be needing a new head coach soon. And the crazy part, I have this all on camera, y'all. I have it all fully recorded right here on my cell phone that Jerry Jones said he's going to be needing a new head coach soon. And so the crazy part about it was, he was coming by, I was recording Jerry, and, some people asked him to take a photo. So in the video, you see me turn around because I was turning around and switching it to take a photo. And so I had it on record and I was switching it. And before I could switch it, I caught it and he said that. And I said, wait, did he just say and everyone was like, yeah, he just said he's going to be this is all before the Bengals game. Right? And we're just like, did you get that on camera? I'm like, yeah, I did. They're like, don't post it yet. Hold on to it. And so many people are like, whoa, man, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with this? So my first thoughts, y'all know I was going to come and just drop a video and just like, boom, right? But I sat back and I thought about it. The Cowboys just came off a victory. I want to be focused on football. I don't want to be focused on a circus in a media frenzy. And I know if I would have posted that clip, this week was going to be chaos. This week was going to be pure, unadulterated chaos because I have on film Jerry Jones saying that he is going to need a new head coach soon. Crazy, y'all. And I'm not making it up. Here it is right here. Right here. That's Jerry. That's Jerry right there. So Tuck's not lying. Tuck's not clickbaiting. Tuck's not doing all that. Tuck has it right here, man. But, I thought about Cowboys Nation. I know you want to hear it because I'm too toxic. Here, let me see if I can play it through the microphone. Hold on. Let me see if I can play it. Y'all can probably hear it through the microphone. Hold on. Let's see. And like I said, I didn't share this with nobody. I didn't drop a video, or any of that, bro, because I wanted to keep this low key. I'm going to need me a new coach. That's Jerry Jones, y'all. That's Jerry Jones. And like I said, y'all, I didn't want to drop it because, I get conflicted in this. Y'all know I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, but I also do media, I do content or whatnot. But it's just like, for the sake of my team, I want to see my team win. I don't want all this noise. I don't want all this pollution. I don't want a circus. I just want a winning football team. I promise you, swear to God. So I took the video when so many people was like, drop it, Tuck, give it to me. I'll drop it. Give it to me. And I was just like, nah. And I still probably won't drop it. So y'all probably be the only 15 people in this chat who's probably going to see this video and hear it. But that kind of lets us know he's already thinking about moving on from Mike McCarthy. This is a setup mission. This is a dummy mission when it comes to Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones is already thinking, how can I move on from this guy? Because, people say a lot of truth in jest. They say a lot of truth, like, I'm just joking. Like if y'all were talking to me, I'm just like, I'm trying to get me a brand new wife. Y'all be like, what the hell is Tuck talking about? You've thought about that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, when Jerry Jones said, it caught us all off guard, y'all, and I just didn't want to make it public and let it go viral. It had probably been on Undisputed. TMZ has reached out to me. I've spoken to a lot of Dallas Cowboys media people, James, the list goes on. And I was just like, nah, But here's the thing. I put it on the live, but a lot of people ain't going to watch the middle of my live show. So it's kind of safe, right? But if I would have just chopped it up and made a video, it probably would have circulated. But a lot of people ain't going to know about it unless y'all tell. So, what I'm saying? Now we like this. But, now a lot of you got your ears up when it comes to Mike McCarthy moving forward, man. So that's it. But like I said, I didn't want to cause no drama. I didn't want a circus. I just really wanted to focus on football and get into winning football. All I care about is 6 rings. That's all I care about, y'all. And I know it's all y'all care about. All the drama and all the extra stuff, I really don't care. But man, for him to say that knowing the camera was right there, it's kind of crazy, man. So there's something, that's a nugget that nobody else will have that's not subscribed to this channel. They ain't gonna know anything about that, right? So I'm gonna make another video. It is what it is. That's it. But I wanted to show y'all because we are a family, and now we kind of know, going forward. So let's go ahead and get to the New York Giants. So the New York Giants is 2-0. Yeah, y'all got some classified info, because the crazy part, y'all, I had posted on Twitter like, I can't believe Jerry Jones just said this to me. And then like, because I was getting ready to go right then and there, upload, y'all know me, let's get straight to it. But then I paused and thought about it, right? And so a lot of people were kind of questioning, like, oh, what kind of news Tuck you got? Tuck's clickbaiting. Tuck's always just saying things. He's a clown, right? But I had to really sit and think about this, because I'm trying to protect the interests of my team, because I don't want a circus. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a lot of people being asked questions in the locker room and Mike McCarthy stepping up to the podium and all that. I just didn't want that this week. I wanted the focus to be on a good, solid win versus a good team in the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's it, and move on to the next week. So that's why I tucked it, and I'm probably still going to tuck it, besides for what y'all just saw just a second ago, man. So the New York Football Giants, man, we know that when it comes to this team, it starts and it ends with Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley has always been an interesting topic, right? Because he's gotten off to hot starts. He was supposed to have been the guy after Zeke, the new running back, to take things to the next level. Uh-oh, y'all. I'm about to get a whooping. Y'all about to get. So my mama's in the building. She's like, dude, I only told the people who are watching right now. I didn't tell nobody else. I didn't share the video. It's not going to go viral. It's perfectly safe. Y'all going to get me a whooping, man. So if I get a whooping next week, it's probably because of y'all. But I'm just sharing it with the family. I didn't share it with everybody else. Like I said, it didn't really go public. Back to Saquon. I'm going to whoop it. But yeah, everything starts and ends with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is getting off to a great start. Now, we know he's kind of been boom or bust. Like, Saquon has always been the guy. He'll get a 5-yard run here, 2-yard run here, 1-yard loss, 15-yard loss, and then he'll boom for a big 62-yard run and kind of be done for the day. But I feel like when you watch Saquon, he's starting to really settle in when it comes to the run game this year. Thus far, he still does have big play potential. So everything when it comes to his offense, y'all, it starts and it ends with Saquon Barkley. Yeah, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, Taylor, don't give me no whooping, man. I want to be on punishment. I'm like, where's Tuck at? Like, he's on punishment. But it starts and it ends with Saquon Barkley. So we definitely have to be very aware of the run game. Now, here's the fun part. We all know Saquon's a Penn State guy, but we got a Penn State guy too. We got that line in Micah Parsons, and I feel like Micah Parsons is not going to want to get outdone by Saquon Barkley. Like, he's just going to have a chip on his shoulder, right? And it's funny, like, when Micah Parsons was in the draft, I even heard comparisons saying, like, if Saquon Barkley played defense, it would be Micah Parsons, because he's just that explosive. Because a lot of people forget that Micah Parsons was a running back. Like, Micah played running back. Micah can do a lot, right? So I feel like Micah's going to take this game a little personal, just to the Penn State lineage, that he ain't going to let Saquon just go off and go crazy, So, but we definitely have to stop the run, because if he's able to get in motion, it could be a long day, because they're going to try to win the time of possession, which we'll talk about here soon, and get out of there with the victory. Next is Andrew Thomas. Their left tackle is playing phenomenal thus far. We got to be able to get pressure. Now, when it comes to getting pressure versus Daniel Jones, I feel like this week, it's going to have to come in the interior side, right? Because we all know that Daniel Jones, he's sneaky. Like, he's not Lamar Jackson or anything like that, right? But, when it comes to Daniel Jones, he likes to get a little sneaky. He can sneak out the pocket and break one every now and then. So you definitely might want to put a spy on Daniel Jones or collapse the pocket in the interior, because you cannot let him get out and get, moving in motion and move those chains. So, it's going to be interesting to see what Micah Parsons and Dan Quinn cooks up for Daniel Jones, because you might have to keep a spy in some situations. Yeah, Sadika says, hi, Mama Tuck. Please don't whip him. We heard it. We will not leave this room. All right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, don't whoop it. Don't give Tuck no whooping. It's all right. We just family. We got to share with family, though. Because what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to come out and say I was clickbaiting. Like, nah, I couldn't have y'all doing that on my name. So Andrew Thomas, we definitely got to get outside pressure. It's going to be interesting to see if Dan Quinn lines up Micah Parsons on that left side to get pressure, or is he going to attack the weak spot and Evan Neal on the right side, who's kind of a rookie. He's still trying to cut his teeth. So I think you're going to move Micah Parsons around a little bit like we've been doing. But Andrew Thomas is definitely left tackle. Definitely got to take into consideration. Then they have the cornerback Adoree Jackson. Decent talent, man. He's decent in coverage. He's very physical, likes to get up on you a little bit. So he'll probably be matched up with CD a little bit. So we definitely got to be aware of him. And then their interior guy, Leonard Williams, I know that he had banged up himself with the injury. I think it was an ankle. But I think from what I was hearing yesterday, there's a huge possibility he can play. So those are the main focal points. And then, of course, you got to toss in Daniel Jones, right? Because like I said, he's not the greatest quarterback, but he's sneaky. He's sneaky. He'll do enough. You know what I'm saying? He can do enough. So, Daniel Jones can do enough, but you just got to be aware. But I feel like Daniel Jones, we all know, he'll give you a turnover or 2 or 3. We just got to seize the moment and captivate when that opportunity comes from Daniel Jones. So the main thing is we got to stop the run, limit those big plays. So limit those big runs. Everyone's saying it won't me if it would leak. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It's going to leak. It's going to leak. Now, it is what it is, man. If it happens, but here's the thing. I was keeping that story tucked, but Jerry Jones is out there creating another circus and damn self. So I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at yourself, for you're the one who said it. You said TC915, you're the first person I would check. You got to keep an eye on it, right? I'm going to make y'all sign an NDA after this. Pressure Daniel Jones, stop the run. They run the ball about 42% of the time. So they're trying to be a little bit more balanced, right? Trying to be a little bit more balanced. No, Sadiqa, go ahead and share this video. Share, get the likes up, do the same thing. We're perfectly fine. Ain't nothing good about that. Share the video, get the likes up. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Pressure Daniel Jones while maintaining containment. So you definitely can't let him get up the A gaps and B gaps and scurry out with the run. He really doesn't get on the outside, but if sometimes he will run like a bootleg and get outside the pocket a little bit. Like I said, he can use his feet. Not the most dynamic athlete, but he can do enough. Interior offensive line. So the interior offensive line is the weak spot, the A gap, the B gap. The center isn't the best. The guards aren't the best. That's where Dan Quinn needs to send the pressure. Collapse the pocket, because I feel like even with Andrew Thomas out there and even with Neal out there, I feel like I like our defensive ends with that matchup. But we can still get pressure. But we definitely have to do an interior. That Tuck about to go missing out of nowhere. No, they ain't gonna get me, man. We'll see if something does happen and I end up missing, then y'all know where the first place to look. Get the weak spots with the A gap and the B gap and get pressure. Their run defense has been decent, right? Their run defense has been decent. They held Derrick Henry to like 50 yards or so. Christian McCaffrey did get 100 yards, but he had to kind of work for it. They made him scrap for it. So, I feel like their run defense is decent, but their linebackers aren't the best. They just signed a former Dallas Cowboy and Jalen Smith, so they don't have the strongest linebacker core. So if our offensive line is able to get up to the next level and give Zeke and Pollard time, we can run the ball. Kellen Moore, you just got to commit to it. You got to commit to it. You got to commit to the run game. And I feel like you'll be able to run. I feel like you'll be able to run the ball on the New York Giants, but you got to commit, because here's the thing, y'all. When it comes to our offensive line, even as banged up as they have been thus far, they've been playing very physical. They've been playing physical, and especially in the run game, right? So I like what I'm seeing them going forward, but Kellen Moore has to commit to the run game. Honestly, last week, I thought we were going to see a lot more with the run, right? I mean, Zeke got 15. I think Pollard had like 12. And even though he did break for the long run, that quote unquote counted as a pass, right? It wasn't a run, right, with Tony Pollard. But, I like to see a little bit more touches. And a lot of people ask, like, what is the minimum for Zeke? If you go back and you look at the history last year, the year before, when Zeke kind of got his 100-yard games, it was 20 minimum. And here's my thing, y'all. When it comes to Ezekiel Elliott, you paid him the big contract. don't cut his workload. If I'm the Joneses, right, and I just paid this man one of the highest contracts in the NFL for a running back, I kicked it all downhill a little bit, and there could be a huge possibility I don't have Zeke as my running back next year, I'm getting every last carry out of Zeke possible. Like I want to see the old Zeke. Remember when Zeke used to always wave himself out the game, like, come get me, come get me? I want to see that Zeke. I want to see him get so many touches. He's telling y'all, take me out, put Tony Pollard in. So if I'm Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, get every last carry you can get out of Ezekiel Elliott before you possibly move on next season. Don't pay him all this money and then give him 10 carries. A lot of people, Cowboys fans, want to act like Zeke's stealing money. No, actually, the Cowboys kind of gifted him money and demanded less of him, which is kind of crazy, right? So if I'm Zeke, yeah, give him 20 carries minimum, and let's see what he can do. But I still think that Zeke, with this offensive line, can give you 90 yards. He can give you 100 yards. He's never going to be Tony Pollard. Y'all want that big splash play? That's not Zeke. That's TP, right? But you can use smash and dash and utilize them both and still be effective in the run game. Yes, I just got a raise at work because my workload increased. Should be the same for Zeke. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like if you were working 70 hours at work, and then you got a huge, massive raise and they cut you down to 30 hours. So you'd be like, well, I mean, guess I thank you, but you know what I'm saying? Usually you think more money, more problems. But in Zeke's case, it's been like more money, less problems. I mean, so the Cowboys have really extended Ezekiel Elliott's career by not giving him the proper touches and not really utilizing him like the way they did when he was a rookie and also in his sophomore season. You got to win the time of possession. So one thing that you'll notice when they beat Carolina, they outweighed them in the time of possession. And a lot of it's due to the run game, right? So if the Cowboys can win the time of possession and the turnover margin, because like I said, they gave up 2 turnovers in the first game versus Tennessee. Didn't turn over the ball right, but versus the Panthers. But the Panthers had 2 turnovers. They lost. They almost turned it over 3 times, right? And he will fumble the first kickoff, the opening kickoff, right? But if you're able to win the turnover margin, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys can definitely win this game. Cooper Rush, as I have it down below, he doesn't need to be a hero. It shouldn't be a Cooper Rush save the day where he's dropping back, throwing 40 plus times. That should not be the case, because if you go back this Sunday, Cooper Rush had a phenomenal opening drive, but in that second half, we were out there. Wait. Cooper Rush was blessed and highly favored on Sunday because there was a lot of plays that could have been interceptions and pick sixes. The Bengals just missed their opportunities, right? So it's like, when it comes to Cooper Rush, just let him be the captain of the ship, the bus driver, but get the ball once again to your playmakers and let them do what they do best. Cowboys need to be more efficient on third down. We've been sucking on third down, y'all. We got to keep the chains moving. Now, a lot of people question Mike McCarthy's play call when it came to going for it on fourth down. But I feel like the Cowboys were playing with house money necessarily. I mean, they was, 7-point underdogs. Nobody's really thinking the Cowboys could win that game. So from Mike McCarthy's standpoint, he was just going all in. And so I like the kind of aggressive tone it kind of set coming out the gate. It's like, hey, we're not going to back down. We're going to play to win. But I just hope Mike McCarthy keeps that up. Don't try to be an aggressive coach some games and then you kind of cower and waver a little bit. Keep it up. If that's going to be your approach, let that be your approach. My guy David says, yeah, he could have had 4 picks. Yeah, there was one play. He threw a screen pass to CeeDee Lamb, and I don't know how it got through to CeeDee Lamb, man, but my heart skipped about 3 times because you can slowly, if you watch that game, you can slowly see the momentum shifting from the Bengals. I just know, like, all right, man, you can't give them too many opportunities because they still do have talented on offense where they can strike just like that, and they did. It was just like, boom, touchdown, 2-point conversion, tie ball game, right? So you couldn't give them too many opportunities, especially on the side of the field where Cooper Rush almost tossed them picks. So, like I said, sometimes people are just blessed, at the quarterback position. We saw Tim Tebow, right? Y'all remember Tebow time? Tebow wouldn't do anything, and all of a sudden, through God's graces, he would close his eyes and just throw in a triple coverage, and it would get through, and there's a touchdown. Some people just got it sometimes. Sometimes it's just your day. But yeah, we definitely got to win the turnover margin, be more efficient on third down. Cowboys corners must play aggressive with unproven wide receivers. Now, they've been having some issues in-house, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to their wide receiver core. Kadarius Toney, you know, he played with Kyle Pitts at Florida. He's kind of been unhappy with his role. We all know what he did last year, and y'all remember Giants fans were so happy because he got one catch on Diggs, and then he threw a punch and got ejected, right? So that's what they're thinking. He's going to get his redemption game on Monday night. But he's kind of been limited as far as opportunities, and also Galladay, he's been coming out vocalizing, you know, and being vocal about himself not getting opportunities in this offense. But, you know, sometimes you got a brand new head coach and you aren't his guy, you know, so he's wanting to establish a new identity, and you might not just fit. And being over there pouting and crying and playing in the locker room, it might not just work in your favor. So, you know, I feel like when it comes to their wide receivers, they got a lot of unproven guys, you know, kind of like us outside of CeeDee Lamb. So Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Trayvon Diggs, really get up there, play physical, tough, get up in the mix. Let Daniel Jones hold that ball and have to think for a second, and we'll send the lion after him, gets a sack, strip fumble, and we'll get off to the races. So that's what you definitely got to do, but you can't give Daniel Jones too much cushion. Let's see here. Tuck, in the first half, it seemed like we were moving the pocket for Cooper Rush. Why did they stop in the second half, man? And that's a good question. And, you know, to be honest with you, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, there's always that head scratcher, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you'll see some things like, all right, it's good, it's working, right? And then they get away from it. And it's just like sometimes I just don't know if it's Kellen Moore kind of just running out of, you know, his play sheet, or is he getting figured out too soon? You know, there's always that head scratching moment. It's like, hey, this is working. Why didn't you stick to it, right? You know, if you go back to week 1 versus Tampa, we all sit back and it's like, yo, Zeke is getting 5 yards a clip. Give him the ball, feed him. It's simple, you know, but they just get away from it. So, you know, I just feel like sometimes Kellen Moore gets a little too creative. You know, he might get a little too creative. Like, yo, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We all play video games. We play Madden. We all play Madden. When we have this one play, we continue to run because the opponent cannot stop it. Whatever, I'm going to call the same play over and over and over and over and over until you can stop it, man. But we'll definitely, you know, see if Kellen Moore can, you know, build off of what he did on Sunday, because I feel like maybe Mike McCarthy had his hand in a little bit more. It was a lot less aggressive with the play calling. You didn't see the loop-de-loops. You didn't see the loop-de-loop reverses, right? You saw a more balanced play calling approach when it came to our offense, and I think that's the key difference maker. I know a lot of people say, oh, with Tuck, redacting, you know what I'm saying? And ask me, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it. We family, y'all. Did y'all see Cooper Rush at the line of scrimmage? Omaha, check, doing all these adjustments at the line of scrimmage like you see Dak Prescott doing? We didn't. It was a simplified approach, right? Simplified approach, make your read, maybe your first read, second read, get the ball out of your hands, keep things moving, right? So they simplified the game for Cooper Rush, which is what you want to do with your backup quarterback. You know, you're never going to toss the full gauntlet at your backup quarterback unless you have a real proven guy. But for Cooper Rush, they simplified things, right? And also, I said this on Twitter, and a lot of people didn't like it, but maybe, just maybe, y'all, maybe having Dak Prescott with the headset on helps Cooper Rush a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people act like, you know, it's just Cooper Rush versus Dak. That's kind of recess talk. We don't do that here. But I do think that having Dak Prescott in the headset, being able to digest from the sidelines and kind of see what's going on, helps Cooper Rush tremendously. But of course, we know Dak don't get no credit for that. Let's see here. A guy Robert says, we ran an extra 9 times in week 2 versus week 1. Our offenses ran completely with Rush at quarterback. Yeah, it's simplified. Thomas says, be careful about these wide receiver rantings. They could be a setup. Don't listen to the rants. Don't fall for it. Yeah, I agree, you know, because I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to be on fire to get the opportunity. You got to think, y'all, this is going to be a hostile environment. Giants fans ain't been 2-0 and had a season that mattered in quite some time. You know, so they're going to be fired up. They're going to white out the stadium. Like, everybody's going to be on go. It's Monday Night Football versus the Dallas Cowboys coming to town. They're going to be fired up. But you know what? I'm excited to see the Cowboys, even without Dak Prescott and with some of the injuries, how do they respond to this type of hostile environment? We're underdogs again, just slightly by 1 point, right? But I want to see this team rally, see this team fight, see this team scrap. And I think you're going to see that when it comes to the Cowboys on Monday night. And then last thing, we might see Kayvon Thibodeau return, the rookie defensive end. He's kind of been limited with injuries, but he might return. I'm reading he could return. So, I feel like from an offensive line standpoint, Tyler Smith has done well, y'all. I know a lot of people has had question marks when it comes to Tyler Smith. He was going to be ready. Didn't have, any of the offseason or camp to kind of get prepared for it. Kind of tossed him out there, and he's done well. And now you're hearing Mike McCarthy, and you're also seeing video footage of practice today where Jason Peters could return, but I don't think he's getting that left tackle spot, man. And I was saying this on Twitter at JTuck151. If you are going to have Tyler Smith be your left tackle for the foreseeable future and move on for Tyron Smith, let that kid cut his teeth. Don't play musical chairs with him. Let him cut his teeth, right, and play left tackle. And I feel like thus far he is held up. So we have seen a situation where you could see possibly Jason Peters play left guard. He was also getting reps at right tackle. So what does that mean? Remains to be unseen, but we'll see on Sunday. But, I feel like if I'm just saying, okay, give me the 5 best offensive linemen, Matt Farniok, he's tried, but it just ain't happened, so the left guard position has to get fixed. Zach Martin is Zach Martin. Terrence Steele is holding down the right side, right? And Tyler Biadasz is still being fair, right? So if you want the best 5, yeah, I would say kick Tyler Smith into left guard and let Jason Peters be your left tackle. But if you're just thinking about what's best for the Cowboys and what's best for the Cowboys moving forward, I'm leaving Tyler Smith at the left tackle position. Salute to my guy, Mike, with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. He says, do you think Mike schemed the first half because it was a different look than Kellen's playbook until the second half that looked like Kellen? What do you think? I don't know. I'm not sure who's really doing the scheming. I really think that, Kellen Moore, he's still in charge of the play calling, y'all. I just felt like Mike McCarthy may have overlooked it a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he was still in charge of the play calling. And, before the game, Mike McCarthy may have said, nah, we're not doing that. Take that out, get that out. Nope, we're not doing that, not doing that. He might have been more like that, but I feel like for the most part, it was still Kellen in charge of calling the plays. But like I said, I feel like what happens is not having Dak Prescott out, it forces Kellen Moore to be more conservative. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't have Cooper Rush making 30 adjustments and different reads at the line of scrimmage. You're already kind of limited with your weaponry as it is. It's just too much to ask for your backup quarterback. So having Dak out forces Kellen Moore to simplify things and just take the easy out. Just give the ball to Pollard, give the ball to Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Quick slants, find Noah Brown, find CeeDee Lamb, and just keep things moving versus when Dak is out there, the world is his oyster. You know what I'm saying? So that's a conversation we can always have because, like I said, nobody is above criticism. Y'all know I love Dak Prescott, right? But sometimes I think that he's doing way too much at the line of scrimmage, right? So it's something we definitely can look at. But I feel like when it comes to Kellen Moore with Cooper Rush, it forces him to change his game plan and simplify things. Yeah. Let's see here. My guy Chris Stevens says, love that hat you were wearing. Yeah, this is the old school, man. This is the, back when Jay Tuck was a little fella, right? A little old Cowboys fan. I had this hat on. I had the starter jacket with the pouches. Man, this is my favorite hat. They actually remade the hats. It's actually back there, right? But it was darker. The tint was darker, and that hat got autographed by the entire team, so I can't wear it anymore, and I can't find the newer versions, so I still wear my logo athletics, man. So I appreciate all that, man. Speaking of drip and clothing, quick little commercial break. So salute to everyone that's been asking, like, yo, Tuck, you've been wearing this gear, man. Like, yo, where are you getting this gear? And you got to go to CowboysFansTalk.com. Go get your merch, man. I appreciate all the support. If you sell me with the JTuck151 shirts on, all that stuff, the Micah Parsons shirt that everybody loves, definitely go check that out, man. But you can definitely use the code CFOgang to get 10% off, man. That's the Rockstar Made shirt that everyone loves. So yeah, I got that code for you guys. Use the code because that's my gift to you guys. And so I'll be giving out giveaways and a lot of things to the merch store, but definitely go to CowboysSportsTalk.com and get your merch and use the code CFOgang for 10% off, man. I appreciate all the support. We're going to continue to stock. It's getting cold, man. It's getting cold. I'm here in Kansas City, It's starting to get cold. It's like 40 degrees right now, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we got hoodies coming out. We got all sorts of stuff. I mean, y'all know how we do, but we got to stay dripped throughout this Dallas Cowboys football season. So definitely check that out at CFOsportstalk.com. So next, we're going to do a quick film session, get into some film here of the New York Giants. Now, I didn't chop it up, y'all. I didn't make it all pretty, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, honestly, the NFL's been kind of weird when it comes to film, you know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of go to the back door and do things. I just didn't have time today before the show started because we're starting a little early today, you know, for film session. So, you know, I'm just going to look at some films, look at some things that the New York Giants were doing versus the Carolina Panthers and kind of pick up from there, man. It's still hot as hell in West Texas, man. It's like, I just took my dog for a walk, man. It was like 60-ish, man. I was like, man, I should have wore a coat. I went out there in t-shirt and shorts. Like, we kind of freezing out here, man. So, you know, here in the Midwest, man, weather is just unpredictable. You know, it might mess around and snow tomorrow for all we know. So let's go ahead and get into the film session. And like I said, we want to watch this film together, you know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of sharp football minds. And I was saying this on Twitter. You know, when it comes to my viewers, to my community, you know, my main job for you guys is education. Educate. Salute to my guy, Professor O. Says, check out Tuck's merch. I just bought 2 shirts for myself that came in this week, man. Appreciate the support, Professor O. Definitely, man. Like I said, use the code CFOgang, 10% off. Everything from that merch store, y'all, comes right back here to the channel. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's a third party or someone else is going to get paid and comped off of, man. It's just like showing support. It's just like doing a super chat. It's just like giving a like, man. Everything you see, I create on my own, man. It's just my own thoughts, man. Sometimes I kind of get inspired from other shirts and things like that and put a little Cowboys drip on it, man. So I appreciate all the support. But I'm saying, yeah, so my job on this channel, to this community, is to educate, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, there's a lot of people who go on Twitter, they argue Dak sucks, they argue this guy's trash, this guy's no good, right? But can you really talk football? Do you understand what you're watching on Sunday? Do you know what a 4-eye is? Do you know what a 3-tech is? Do you know what a route tree is? Do you know what a smash concept is, a flood concept is? Do you know the essentials to being able to understand football? And so we have a lot of sharp minds in this community. So we're just going to let the film run and y'all let me know what y'all see. We'll stop it a little bit. We're not going to stop and cut too much, right? Because I'm going to keep y'all here all night, you know? But yeah, it's always good to kind of think things through for yourself. I just don't want to be the voice that you guys can say, you know what, Tuck said this, so that's the word. Like, no, I want you guys to kind of see it for yourself. So the Giants are on offense. They're in 11 personnel. Simple run to Saquan Barkley. Like I said, they're trying to get him involved early, right? Trying to get Saquon involved extremely early. Right there on the right side. They pulled a wide receiver across. Another motion. I think that's Tony, 89. Yeah, I think that's Kadarius Toney right there. A little sweep, Tony. You got a rock, though. And this is right after the Panthers have fumbled the opening snap. So they put them right in field position to score a touchdown, but they didn't. The Panthers were able to hold them to 3, which is something you always want to see for your defense. But yeah, Tony ain't going nowhere. He ain't got that. I watched Kadarius Toney because he was the Robin to Kyle Pitts. So I know a lot about Kadarius Toney, and he ain't about to burn off like that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't burn off like that. And it's a quick throw underneath. Didn't get the first down. Let's see. Good job picking up that stunt, though. So the left side of the Giants offensive line, I would say, is their strongest point. You know, their strongest point. Like I said, they do got Thomas over there. It's their strongest point. But I feel like our defensive line, y'all, will be able to get great pressure across the board. You know, and a lot of people is kind of down and out when it comes to DeMarcus Lawrence. I know he doesn't have the godly sack numbers, but you still have to respect DeMarcus Lawrence. And I expect a big day from DeMarcus Lawrence on Monday. I know we kind of talk about Micah. We've seen Dorrance Armstrong start to wreak a little havoc. We saw Fowler reach a little havoc as well. It's time for DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law, our leader, our veteran guy, to get in on the fun. And I feel like he is on Monday. Let's see, El Paso, Texas is 9:15. Yes, zip code, area code, El Paso. So let's see here. Is it me, or with the Giants picking up Ridgeway and Smith, it seems like they're trying to load up their own Cowboys talent this week. So Ridgeway, he got waived by the Cowboys. John Ridgeway, the Vanilla Gorilla, he didn't get picked up by the Giants. He got picked up by Washington. So we'll see Ridgeway next week. But they did bring back Jalen Smith. And I know a lot of Cowboys fans, they kind of get in Jalen Smith, right? Jalen Smith this, Jalen Smith that. Whenever a player has given their all, kind of come off for a story, you just got to be happy for the guy that he's back in the league getting an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not going to bag, Jalen sucks for it. You know, the guy has done nothing wrong to Cowboys fans. He deserves to be on the roster, and he's fought his way. I see Steve, Jalen Smith. A lot of people hate Jalen Smith for whatever reason. I don't know what the hell Jalen Smith done to y'all. I must have missed it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, he's back on the roster. I don't think he's going to be a threat on Monday. So, he might get a few reps here and there. Of course, he's going to be fired up to play against Dallas, but, nah. But yeah, Ridgeway, what's the deal with Ridgeway next week? Yeah, I don't even think he's going to play, because I'm not sure when he actually signed officially, but I'm not sure if he's even going to have enough time to be on the roster. No problem, yeah. And so, I know a lot of people are kind of out on why we got rid of Ridgeway, but it's just like, y'all try to get rid of my dog, Tristan Hill, and I've been telling y'all, Tristan Hill wasn't going out like no sucker, y'all. Tristan Hill wasn't going out like that. And the way that he was playing, we're just so crowded in the interior. Panthers got cute there. Let's see. Little Kellen Moore right there. Got sniffed out, And here's the thing, man. Just go for it. Go at him. Go down vertical. Stop trying to move everything horizontal, And here's the thing. I'll say this. Yeah, he signed on Tuesday. Yes, he's not going to have time to be on the roster. I would like to see a shot to Kevontae Turpin. Can I just see what Kevontae Turpin can do down the field? Can I just see just one, you know what I'm saying? Like, just back the safeties up, right? Because the one thing you look at when you see the Giants, they like to stack in the box quite a lot. You know what I'm saying? They like to get up in the box, right? And so, yeah, back them up, and use the speed with Tony Pollard and Kevontae Turpin to back those safeties over the top. I love Jay Smith, man. Great story with Jalen Smith. Yeah, I agree, Thomas. He really just got caught up in the numbers game, bro. That's what it is. And sometimes that's just how it goes, and here's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys like having 100 damn draft picks. You know what I'm saying? Because like Professor O and Knicks, we're always doing these mock drafts. You're like, man, trade these picks, get rid of these picks. We don't need all these picks, right? But for the most part, the Cowboys, they use all their draft picks. They might trade and even get more draft picks, right? But when you do that, you have to make sure they fit numbers-wise. And I just feel like when it came to Ridgeway, where was he going to fit number-wise? Because he couldn't move on from Tristan Hill, because Tristan Hill's been playing phenomenal, man. And this is the first time he's had a defensive coordinator for 2 years back-to-back. And I always said this. I said this last year. I feel like Tristan Hill is a Dan Quinn guy. Just very blue-collar, not too flashy. He's going to go out there and just do his job. Let's see here. Was that a pick? Baker Mayfield played horrible. Baker. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, it wasn't a pick. A fumble. Stripped him. Baker Mayfield did play horrible, But here's the part. You'll never hear about Baker Mayfield playing horrible because he plays for Carolina and nobody cares. That's the difference maker, They don't get that scrutiny they get in Dallas, Dak only scores 3 points and you feel like it's the end of the world, right? But other quarterbacks can completely fall off the map. You hear nothing about it. Crazy how that works. The linebackers or safeties are more likely to get an interception this week than DBs. Jones is holding the ball and then checking down. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, when it comes to our corners, we really have to get up and be physical with their wide receivers and make Daniel Jones hold that ball, because if he pats, and as soon as he starts to hitch, he's going to check down quick, especially with Micah Parsons and those guys flying off the edge. He's going to look for Saquon in the flats, the guys underneath, the tight end, I think his name was Bellinger, his tight end, right? Just quick throws, get the ball out of his hand. Like, it's crazy that the same game plan they're probably going to have for Cooper Rush, you can probably have for Daniel Jones, even though Daniel Jones can move out the pocket a little bit more than Cooper Rush. Quick. That's what we got to watch for when it comes to Daniel Jones. Those are the type of plays. Just quick 3-step drops, ball out of his hands right there. Boom. Quick throws, and try to get the wide receiver in space, because got that lion coming after him. He's not going to want to hold on. Man, I'll tell y'all this. I was out there at the game on Sunday, and I can literally tell y'all, it looked like Joe Burrow was seeing ghosts. And I literally said that because there's one play, it was like 3rd down, and he just threw the ball so damn quick. He was just like, I just got to get the ball out of my damn hands, so I'm tired of getting sacked. He was out there seeing ghosts. We got to give that same approach when it comes to Daniel Jones. And if you're able to get pressure on Daniel Jones, especially early, he'll fold, he'll cave, he'll start doing quick throws, and he'll definitely give us that ball back. So yeah, send the horses, man. Send the dogs, send the horses, send the lions, send everyone after Daniel Jones. AB pick 6. It's crazy, right? Because Cowboys fans have been so spoiled. It's like, all right, it's been 2 games with no interception from Diggs. Like, what gives? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man. I feel like Diggs is going to be due. He almost had one. He almost had one on Sunday. It was right there. He just missed it. So yeah, quick throws, right there. You got to be on that. That's what he's going to be aiming to do. Is getting the ball out of his hand extremely quick, 3-step drops, quick out route, get the ball out of his hand. But I feel like our secondary is a whole lot better than the Carolina Panthers. Right. The left tackle, that was Thomas right there, setting the edge. Good job. But we'll get more pressure right there. We'll get more pressure off that edge. I feel like Fowler, like I said, Fowler's doing a great job thus far, man. And also, Dorrance Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong, he was always just a blue collar guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not as sexy as Randy Gregory, but he's going to do his job. We have enough to get pressure, and that's what I like about the rotation that we have, especially with our edge rushers. And then you toss in Micah, it just makes things even more crazier, man. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Keep the questions firing. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the phone lines for y'all wanting to call in. Let's just talk some Cowboys football, man. We got the football game tonight. But it's like, do we really care about it? Not too much, you know what I'm saying? I'm not too watching Mitch Trubisky. I'm not too watching Mitch Trubisky. So let me go ahead and turn the phone lines on. Let's see here. Where is it? Tell me, did I get rid of it? Where's the conference call? My phone. There we go. Boom. All right. Let's see here. Then we go here. Boom, there. All right. So yeah, if y'all want to go ahead and call in, man, go ahead and call in, and then we can talk. And so I'll keep it open for a little bit. I ain't gonna keep it open for too long. I'm gonna keep it open for too long. You know what I'm saying? Because people got things to do, right? But you know what I'm saying? Cowboys Nation, and y'all been getting on to me like, yo, Tuck, you haven't been doing no live shows. You're getting too busy for us. No, I'm not. I'm not too busy for y'all.
You are the
it's
only
just like,
participant.
We got a lot going on. It'd be a lot going on, y'all. And sometimes it's just like, I'm traveling, I'm going back and forth. I don't even take my equipment with me when I travel because I don't want to pack laptops and cameras and all that stuff. So it's like, nah, I just be chilling, be on the move, man. But yeah, we definitely gonna do live shows, have guests. That's what it's all about. Let's see here. Sadiqa says, I will be watching the game. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the game for a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Rush in the underdogs live on Monday night. Yeah, we're the underdogs again, y'all. And me personally, that's how I like it. I like the Cowboys being underdogs, because it's like, we always get to be the hunted. You know what I'm saying? We always have to be the hunted where everyone's coming after us. You know what I'm saying? And let's see. All right, we got a caller. Let's see here and put my headphones on. See, I remember how to work all this. I see. I ain't go Hollywood, man. I'm still outside, man. Hey, caller, state your name. Where you from?
Anthony.
Hey, Anthony, what's going on? Can y'all hear Anthony out there? Think they can.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. How you feeling?
Hey, great job today. Really enjoyed the show.
Appreciate it.
Hey, just a quick comment. A question. Why can't we use, when Michael Gallup comes back, I guess he's coming back this weekend, we got to start with the long, over-the-top type passes. We can stretch the field and get, we got Michael Gallup and we have Turpin now. He is fast.
Right.
Why can't we utilize that speed to get, a 30-yard, 40-yard pass downfield. Let's show that we're not as conservative as Kellen Moore, has been. Let's get some yardage, man. Let's make these defenses, really feel it.
Yeah, and I'm 1,000% agreeing with you, Anthony. And I feel like we need to, right? Because we need to back the safeties out the box when it comes to stopping Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Because if they don't fear the deep threat, and this was really our Achilles heel week 1 versus Tampa. Like, there was just no respect for the deep throw, and you have the caliber of players that, granted, CeeDee Lamb isn't a burner, right? CeeDee Lamb isn't a burner, but he can get behind the defense, and I want to see the speed with Turpin utilized and also with Tony Pollard. So you've got to just throw a shot to get them back. And that's the one thing you would say that Cooper Rush did. Maybe it's kind of just a Hail Mary. I'm just going to take a shot and throw downfield, right? But Cooper Rush is not afraid to take that shot and back them up just a little bit. So I just think that it just needs to be imprinted into Kellen Moore's offense moving forward a whole lot more. And I think once you do that, it's going to open things in the run game for Zeke and Pollard.
Yeah, that's great. But I think the offensive line did a better job in the second game. Mm-hmm. I think that the time they gave Cooper Rush was excellent. Mm-hmm. They weren't perfect, but nobody was perfect. But right. I just think if we give him enough time to go through his reads and just go downfield, mm-hmm. and just speed will be, just like Turpin said, speed kills.
Right.
So we just got to get him downfield. I'm telling you. We can have a high-powered offense this year if we start utilizing the speed right. of these players. And I think Kellen Moore is just too conservative. He's just – I just don't understand why he can't just get out of his own mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, we could do a lot of damage this year.
Yeah, and I think you will. I think they're kind of just gauging Cooper Rush for the most part. I expect to see more shots down the field on Monday night. You would think, because like I said, especially with Michael Gallup coming back, that's Michael Gallup's game. It's down the field, the 9 routes, those big plays down the field. That's what Michael Gallup is known for. So if he is back per se, you definitely have to use him in that capacity.
Yeah, sounds great. Hey, CFO, you're the best, man. Thanks for your show.
Hey, appreciate it, Anthony, man. Take care. Go Cowboys.
Yeah, amen. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see here. Hey, caller, state your name. Where you from? I already know who this is, though. We got a surprise guest. What's up?
What's up with you, man? It's your boy, West Coast. How you doing, man?
Yeah, man. What's going on, bro, man? Thanks for calling in, man.
Man. Yeah, man. I just want to tell you something, man. There ain't nobody calling me, texting me, Twittering me, asking me, are we still them boys?
Not this week.
My Twitter been boring this week, man. It's just been boring in the mud,
right? Man. And like I said, Wes, I was like, if hearing Dak versus Cooper Rush debates is all I got to hear this week as far as winning the game, I'm perfectly fine with that. That's a small price to pay for salvation, bro.
You know what's funny? Bro, listen to me. I was literally about to say, it's been a boring week. I was about to do what Jerry Jones did and just make up something real quick, like, damn.
Yeah. Right.
Like my boy just threw some random stuff out there. But, man, I'm excited about this game. The reason why I'm excited about this game is finally Cooper Rush is going to get to play a quarterback that he is probably better than. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And I'm like, he take a little pressure off him for a little bit, for at least one game, you know what I'm saying? Because even though we know that Dak is under this pressure, man, we got to understand, we got to chill out, because Cooper Rush is only playing his 3rd game, and we're already saying that this guy should be as good as a guy that's played in like 86 and won like 56 of them.
Right.
So it's like, we're not going to sit up, and the cool thing about the game is we know Dak can handle this pressure.
Right.
Because Dak has been in this situation. He's been in this situation his whole entire career and has won most of his games. You don't know how a Cooper Rush is going to respond. So I just want everybody to just chill out and relax, because Cooper Rush is a fine guy as a backup quarterback that's trying to hold the ship. We don't know how he's going to play as this guy that you guys want him to be trying to take jobs, and now he has to answer, because, man, there's a lot that comes with the Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So I just, I think, the nation just needs to chill just a little bit, you know what I'm saying, on that aspect. But then the last thing I'm going to say about Dak, and then we can talk about something else if you want. I don't think we should talk about any player that's not actually playing. Like, I think we should all check ourselves on the whole Dak situation. Like, if you watch that Cincinnati Bengals game and the only thing you want to talk about is Dak, that's you, man.
Right.
That's you. Because there's a whole lot of other stuff that we can talk about in that game. Like your boy, like you said, like Dorrance Armstrong.
Right.
You know, everybody's talking about Micah Parsons leading the NFL with 4. Mm-hmm. Well, Dorrance Armstrong got 2.5. I would think he's probably up there in top 10 right now.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I agree with you, Wes. And I just think, like, you know, when it comes to Cowboys fans, man, and like, you know, just going off what Jerry did today, right? We're so used to sloppy media debates where we just don't even know how to enjoy a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we just enjoy that our backup quarterback was able to step in and win us a game before we had to start some controversy? Now, I know what the mainstream is going to do because they try to always conquer and divide the fan base, but the fan base has got to be smart. Like, just be happy we got to win, celebrate, just do what everybody else.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Hey, Tuck, can I ask you a question? You're in Kansas City, right?
Right.
Has there ever been a time where Patrick Mahomes lost? Not lost, but has there ever been a time where Patrick Mahomes couldn't play a game and his backup quarterback came in that game?
Well, yeah.
And won a game.
Yeah, because people forget the year they won the Super Bowl.
How did that fan base respond?
They were just happy. They could hold on and win the game because people forget that Super Bowl year, right? 2019, I believe. Pat got hurt when he was on the Madden cover the first time. And Matt Moore stepped in and was in the quarterback. And they had that very close game and they went for it on 4th down and barely got the ball to Tyreek Hill. And he was able to get the first down and secure the game. I think it was versus the Chargers, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they were just happy they got the win and Pat was out and he's going to be coming back in a few weeks and the season's been saved. You know, it was never a conversation. Well, could we just stay with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it only happens in Dallas. It always has to be this or that. We can never have 2 good things. You can either have Zeke or Pollard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Pick one. You can either have Amari or you can have CD. Pick one, Wes. You know what I'm saying? You either have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we just have a good team and just be happy we have a good team? You know? Yeah,
and you know what I love? You know what I do love, though? I do love that my guy Z came out and just kind of like put Jerry on Front Street. Like, come on, man, it's clickbait. Like, you know, it's marketing. Like, I do love that. Like, when I hear stuff like that, it lets me know that at some point these players are just hearing this stuff and they're like, man, whatever. Y'all know Jerry just doing what Jerry doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think it's like, you know, I think it's crazy that the players know that. You know what I'm saying? That their owner will literally say whatever he has to say. And it's like, I think as us as a fan base, we got to understand that too. You know what I'm saying? We got to definitely understand that too.
But let me ask you this, Wes. Let me put you in the Cowboys locker room. Are you tired of it? Like, would you be tired of the circus? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like
I would be. This is if I'm a part. I'm gonna tell you this. If I'm a part of the circus, I would probably be tired of it. Like a Dak and a Zeke, they're probably now tired of it. Mm-hmm. But if you're a guy who's like a guy that's like that's been in like a small market, like I'm not saying J-Ron Curse, but I'm saying like a J-Ron Curse where you've been a small market,
right?
You might actually want to thrive to have your name thrown in there because, you know, Cooper Rush right now, I'm pretty sure his stock is around just being associated with Dak Prescott is going to get him a job next year if the Cowboys don't bring him back.
Right.
Like that's going to put him on a higher notch. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, I don't know what it is about the NFL, but like these backup quarterbacks, whenever they, you know, they get kind of like compared to other starters, man, it just opens up other avenues for them.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think Cooper Rush needs to just be good enough, do what he does. The number one thing I said about Cooper Rush is be 90% yourself and be 10% Dak.
Right.
Like you can be 90% yourself, and then guess what? There's going to be times where we're going to need you to do some Dak stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some like pull it out your butt type of stuff.
Right.
But I mean, hey, I do got a subject that I kind of want to talk about. Go ahead. You don't mind, like just like 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Like right now, the Cowboys' biggest investment really is Sedarian Lamb, CD Lamb, right?
Okay.
Everything that you drafted him with a 1st round pick. You traded Amari Cooper for a 1st round pick to assist him to help him be that number 1, right? Then you got rid of Amari Cooper to say that he was. Now think of this. CD Lamb is currently technically still playing the same role that he was playing when Amari Cooper was here.
Right.
Because he's right now the number 2 receiver. My question to you is, do you allow Noah Brown to continue to be the best receiver on your team? Or do you figure out a way to make CD Lamb? Because, man, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little torn. The competitive side of me and the football side of me says, hey, man, Noah Brown, bro, you earned it. It is what it is, CD. He going to get the ball first. This is what it is. But if you notice, the Cowboys aren't doing that. The Cowboys they're actually, bro, listen to me. They gave CeeDee Lamb back-to-back 11 target games. Man, Amari Cooper has not gotten a double-digit back-to-back target game since that first season he was in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Last year, he got that Bucs game. He got 19 targets, and then he went 7 games with 5 or less targets. So they are legitimately trying to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. Mm-hmm. But my question to the nation is, do you accept what's going on, or do you really try to keep forcing it and try to see if maybe he pulls himself out of it? What are your thoughts on it? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think it's more so not about CeeDee Lamb. It's more about Kellen Moore and how the scheme is designed. Because if CeeDee Lamb is taking the focus of the defense, which he is, right? Because let's be honest, right? If you're a defensive coordinator, you say, all right, this team got Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, and CeeDee Lamb. Well, I'm going to try to take the run game away from him first. But in the passing game, I'm going to take away CeeDee Lamb. And if they beat me with Noah Brown, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why you're seeing Noah Brown get the opportunities. Now, where I think that you're going to see, CeeDee Lamb really evolve is when you do get Michael Gallup back, and then you can't really pay a lot of attention over to CeeDee Lamb. But as of right now, he's getting a lot of stuff his side. And when it comes to targets, I know people see 11. They see 11, right? But it's more about the quality of the targets. You know what I'm saying? If I toss a ball to you, Wes, and I throw it over your head, is that necessarily your target? You know what I'm saying? So it's more about the catchable targets. But then also someone just said in the chat, right? You understand Cooper Rush and Noah Brown, they've been on practice squad since, you know what I'm saying, for quite some time. So they're already in sync. He kind of knows what they like. So I feel like I'm not concerned at any capacity about CeeDee Lamb. It's just going to be, it is what it is. You're never going to see him get force-fed the ball and going to be treated like a number one wide receiver. I mean, if you even go back to the history of Dez, he's just like, you're never going to get that opportunity. When it comes to CeeDee Lamb, he's going to have to, when he gets that opportunity, he's going to have to go with that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's just where it's going to have to be.
And that's what kind of scared me about getting rid of Amari Cooper, because it was now that Amari Cooper is, it's like the whipping boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whipping boy's gone. A whipping boy in a company is the guy that gets in trouble for everything. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. Well, guess what? Now that Mr. Can't Do Right is gone, guess what? They invent another one. Right. Now that whipping boy is you. Right. Right. Now it's you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. My biggest fear for CeeDee Lamb was going to be, he was actually going to have to be almost better than Amari Cooper, because he's going to still get the BS that Amari Cooper got, but he's going to have to play through it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, because if you think about it, Amari Cooper is not Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb's eventually going to have to be better than Amari Cooper.
He's going to have to find a way to overcome the scheme in Dallas to be that quote unquote guy, right? Because think about it. Fact. Even when it
just jump over people like Dez,
exactly, and that's what it was, right? With Dez, you know what I'm saying? Dez wasn't the best route runner.
Jumped over you.
Yeah, you know what? Just throw it up. I'll just go get it and make it happen, right? Now, even though
that's not even a scheme. That's not even a scheme.
Yeah, it wasn't a scheme. Yeah, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I never saw a game where it's like, the Cowboys came out and they're trying to get Dez Bryant involved early and often, right? It was just like because there used to be numerous games. It wasn't like Dez wouldn't get a touch until like the second, third quarter. But when they finally got that ball in his hand, man, he ran like he was Derrick Henry or somebody. He was not going down. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to have to be CD. Like, you might only get the ball in your hands 4 to 5 times. You really going to have to make something of it. So, I just feel like it's more about the scheme. You know what I'm saying, as far as, being the focal point. But I feel like once Michael Gallup really comes back and you really can't just lock in on CeeDee Lamb anymore, and he's getting more favorable coverages and you're moving around to the slot and outside in different positions like they promise, you'll see CeeDee Lamb start to emerge, especially when Dak comes back.
You know what that really means then? That means at this point, then, he's not a true number one receiver. And guess what? I think that's okay. Like, I think
let me ask you this. Like, who would you say right now is true number one wide receivers? Like Cooper Kupp,
Devontae Adams.
I mean, because Adams isn't getting in, going crazy.
Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper. Like, man, Amari Cooper sauced up that little rookie, man. In New York.
You have Chase. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like think about it from the standpoint of Jamar Chase, right? Because you saw what Justin Jefferson did against versus
Jamar
Philly.
Chase, yeah, and obviously Jamar Chase. But I'm gonna tell you, Jamar Chase, I think his game was more of a product of our defensive line. Like,
well, even going back to last year when it comes to Jamar Chase, bro, CD just doesn't have the opportunity yet. Where it's like, you know what, games on the line, I don't care what happens, I'm going to CD. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just he just hasn't got that opportunity. Now, he can be that guy, but it's just like.
And I'm going to tell you something, Chuck. Our quarterback, I'm going to keep it real with you, bro.
Our quarterback doesn't think like that.
Our quarterback and our offensive scheme does not predicate on a fourth. Like, say it's like this. On a 4th and 6, game is on the line. They're not going to be like throw it to Dez or throw it to such and such. Their play mind is going to be get it to whoever's open. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, if you play football, you know that we're all equal. But in those hyped plays, there are some people that are different, bro.
Right.
They're just flat out different.
Right.
Like they're different in the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I totally get, and it's like, the thing that sucks is like, if you're going to play that type of that technically is a wide receiver by committee. So that means your committee all around needs to be good.
Right.
So
and that's what made us so
The way the Cowboys are playing, you really need 4 really good receivers because they can all get the ball at any time.
And
you
that's
really
what
don't
made us
need
so
one guy that's
special
really
last
good
year,
and
bro.
everybody that's kind of good.
Right. That's what made us special because thinking about it from defensive coordinator spot, you know what? I'm gonna take Amari Cooper away from y'all. Amari Cooper's only gonna get 5 targets this game. Okay, cool. Now you're getting carved up by CeeDee Lamb and you're getting carved up by Cedric Wilson, getting carved up by Michael Gallup. It's still a bad look, right? But as of right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we got beat by Noah Brown. Do it again. You had Dennis Houston kind of floating out there, Simeon kind of getting some reps. Your 3rd round pick and Jalen Tolbert hadn't even been able to make the field yet. Kevontae Turpin is just a jet sweep guy. Yeah, I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb away from you and see if you can beat me with, let me grab my media guy. Who's these guys again? And see what really, because honestly, even Dalton Schultz really hasn't gotten an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because defenses are smart enough and aware to prepare for that. So I feel like Michael Gallup's return is really going to be the most helpful thing for CeeDee Lamb. You're going to need someone opposite side of him to keep things off of you.
And you know what? The biggest person that needs help right now, man, is, and we keep saying, is our offensive coordinator, man, because if you think about it, man, nobody is really being highlighted on this offense. Nobody.
Is. That goes to the whole no ID offense.
Nobody. There is, if you really think about it, there's really no, who's the superstar of this offense this year? Nobody.
It can change.
Nobody.
It can change.
And it's crazy because I thought the departure of these players was going to hurt the quarterback more, but it really hurt Kellen Moore more.
Right.
Like it he's the one that's having the hardest time rebounding from like Amari Cooper and these other guys being gone.
Right. Because you think about it, bro. Issue. Think about it. And on Sunday, right? What really happened? Tony Pollard just got the ball in his hands and just did what he can do, his God-given ability. It wasn't nothing special, you know what I'm saying? It was just a simple dump-off pass, but Tony Pollard just made that happen, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, there's this big, uphill, superstar that you can kind of highlight, but that goes back to what we did this offseason of highlighting Kellen Moore and his no-identity offense that came from Boise. They never really had the talent, so his offensive philosophy is everybody gets a piece, you know what I'm saying? But you a Lakers fan, if you got LeBron James...
You want to know why that is? Because Boise doesn't have the superior.
Right.
Nobody went to Boise.
Right. Exactly.
They don't have the superior athletes like an Alabama.
Right.
So they really got to be trick plays and all this.
Right. Exactly. Versus Alabama saying, you know what, we got Derrick Henry. We ain't gonna run the place. We're just gonna run it down your throat, bro, and get up out of here. But Kellen Moore never knows how to impose his will. If you go back from Jason Garrett, at least Jason Garrett was able to know, what, I got Zeke. I'm just going to give him the ball 30 times and get up out here with a win. I ain't going to be too cute, But you had never seen a game like that where it's like, you know what? There's a superstar on the Cowboys and Kellen Moore is just going to give them the ball, force feed them. The Cowboys are going to impose their will on this team and get out there with the victory. It's just not their case. So, it's just part of the process, bro.
Yeah, man. But I mean, this is my hope this week, man, is just to talk about that Saquon Barkley, man, I hope that, because a lot of times Cowboys like to get in these duels, man, and they like to, have you noticed whenever Cowboys get into a game where it's like Dak Prescott versus Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott versus Tom Brady,
right.
The offense is always tailored around, us trying to beat that, or having a better game than that guy, like the playoff game.
Right.
The playoff game was clearly Dak, they wanted Dak to beat Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
And it shouldn't have been that. It should have been the Dallas Cowboys trying to beat the 49ers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You take that approach, you win the game. So it's like, I'm hoping that they actually go the opposite way. Man, Saquon Barkley is their entire offense, bro. Mm-hmm. He is their offense. So it's like, I hope the Cowboys get in a situation where they're like, man, let's see on Monday night when everybody has to watch, is forced to watch. Let's see who has the best running back, man. I hope they on Monday Night Football, for one time in his career, I pray they let Zeke be the focal point for a game, man.
Right. I agree.
And that's all I ask, man, and we can live with it.
I appreciate it.
We can live with the results.
Appreciate it. Well, hey, my guy, man, let everybody know where they can find you, of course. They know where to find you, man. Hey, man, you already know. Anywhere on social media, man, all you got to do is hit West Coast Cowboy, man. I'm going to tell you this. It's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, anywhere. Hey, I rock with my boy J Tuck because, man, I'm going to tell you, it's a whole lot of bloggers that blog, but it's a whole lot of bloggers that don't actually be in the turf, that be outside, that be actually going to games. And soon events, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just tell you. Yeah, I just told myself, man. I just changed my mind this morning. I'll be there for the Washington game. I said, why not? Why not? So.
I mean, listen to me, bro. I be getting on my feelings too, but bro, we went to games during COVID.
Right.
There was 27 people in the stadium.
Right. Facts. Well, hey, my guy, appreciate you, man.
In the COVID games, we had whole sections.
Walk around, you walk around free.
I had a whole section to myself.
Right. Kicking back, man. Well, I got some more callers on the line, my guy. I got some more callers, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Peace. Let's see here. Yo, caller, state your name. Where you from?
Coach Marv.
Coach Marv in the building, man. What's going on, my guy?
What's going on? Big Tuck?
Nah, man, just chilling.
Hey, man, this first time we got to talk to you, man. I really appreciate your work, man. Your work is impeccable, man.
Appreciate it.
You figured out something that I've been trying to figure out for a while about the no identity offense, man, and that was a masterpiece, man. And I think if you can figure it out and we can figure it out, the defensive coordinators have got this figured out as well. But Jay, I want to say something about Kellen Moore. We are talking about we see all the deficiencies in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, is he that boy genius? Are we just giving him too much credit of being a very a smart coordinator? What I see is a play caller, not a coordinator.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Mark, I was a kind of an advocate for Kellen Moore a few years ago, right? Because I felt like he was so young. There was a lot of upside potential, because he was a young play caller now. But I feel like as of right now, he's just peaked. He just is what he is. And I just don't see any changes in his philosophy, in his game planning, in his scheming. Everything pretty much remains the same. And what's been saving them for so many years is because if you look at the numbers, right, the Cowboys had one of the highest scoring offenses. They were efficient on third down. Like all the numbers were checking the boxes, but you've been around the game. I've been around the game. It just never looked right. It never looked right at the right moments. And that's been my biggest frustration when it comes to Kellen Moore. When we're playing the Giants, we playing, Washington, the Eagles, like those types of teams. Yeah, of course, everything's clicking. But when you got a defensive coordinator with some elk to his game, he's kind of been around the league a little bit and kind of knows what's going on, it always kind of just hit that roadblock. So that's been my biggest frustration when it comes to Kellen Moore. So I agree to kind of remix what you said a little bit. I feel like Kellen Moore is a great play designer. I just don't think he's a great play caller. You know what I'm saying? And the difference is, you can come up with these creative plays and creative trick plays, but do you know when to call it? You know what I'm saying? Do you know when to use it in what situation? I feel like that's when Kellen Moore really struggles, is when should I go to the play sheet and when should I call these plays? I feel like as far as a designer, he's perfectly fine, but maybe it really needs to be on Mike McCarthy to be like, all right, we need to go to this play right here, right now, because the defense is showing us this, and Kellen Moore just hasn't adjusted.
Yeah, and I see a couple of, I think back, and I've said this before, I think back to Lane Kiffin, right? And he started out, calling plays. Everybody thought he was the hot shot guy, and he was, coming up with plays and he was new on the scene, and they took him and he got a job where he would just focus on doing all this crazy stuff, and it bombed out in the NFL. And then he went to Tennessee, and just like you were saying with Kellen Moore, still was stuck on what he thought was right. He bombed out in a major college. And then he had to go on to Nick Saban. Nick Saban got him off the street and taught him how to be a coordinator, to know the tempo of a football game, to all of a sudden rein him in on certain things he wanted to do, and he learned from that, as well as he taught him how to be a head coach. And now you look at the Lane Kiffin in Mississippi now, he's a more balanced coordinator with his play calling, and his offense is a whole lot better, and he protects his defense. He does all the things that he still got that flash, but he learned from NFL mentorship to learn how to be a coordinator as well as a head coach. Kellen has not had that person that can step in and say, hey, hold up, young man, this is how you go about doing this. Let me veto some of your calls. So you can understand why we are doing this.
Right.
And he didn't have that in Jason Garrett, because Jason Garrett was there. The Cowboys already had earmarked Kellen to be the replacement of Jason Garrett in the future, and Jason Garrett is at the end of his run. And then when you brought McCarthy in, you gave him that, and McCarthy was handcuffed of saying, okay, well, let's let Kellen Moore run the offense because of the stats that you just mentioned about being number one in offense in yards. But when you talk about, if you look at all the major games in his tenure, we have been under 500 when it comes to quality football games, quality teams.
Right.
And our offense has not been explosive. We have not had very many of those games that have been shootouts. They have been where we have coming out the game and said our offense was not doing what they needed to do.
The only one I can think of was New England last year. And I guess you can say Tampa.
Arizona.
Yeah, you can say we look good, offense look good versus Tampa and then New England last year. But yeah, Arizona, Kansas City, even kind of go to Vegas, it took us a minute. Yeah, so the teams that you really need to beat, I mean, 49ers in the playoffs, the offense kind of hits a stalemate. And that's a huge problem because I can't depend on this offense when we really need it the most.
Something I say this, Jake, because I remember the New England game. And Kellen kind of fooled me that thinking that his philosophy had changed. Because if we look back, Dak had a great game passing, but we still ran the ball 33 times in that game.
Right.
First through 3 quarters, through midway to the third quarter, we was running the ball. It started out at 2 yards, 3 yards a carry, but as we remember, in the middle of the third quarter, we started to get 6 to 7 yards, which tired out the defense, which gave Dak more time to throw because the defense was tired and we had possession of the ball. And then from the middle of the third quarter all the way through the fourth quarter and into the overtime, I think Dak threw the ball 23 times in that period of time to get him up to 40-some passes in the game. But this would fool me. Kellen Moore came in the press conference and said, yes, we were committed to running the ball because those 2-yard carries started turning to 6-yard carries, which gave us a chance to have more time in passing. So I had said, okay, he maybe learned how to control the football game.
Right.
But then when all the publicity talked about how great Dak was and how he threw for more yards against New England than anybody else, he strapped that for the rest of the year.
Right.
And he went straight. And I just think this is when he has to be reined in. And I just think it's going to take some people in that locker room to stand up and say, we can still be explosive, but we can still be physical, have a physical presence to our offense.
Right.
And that's what I'm asking. And I want to say this last thing, J. Chuck. I told Boss to tell you, I was on Boss' show yesterday. We were breaking down some film, but I said, I wanted him to ask you, you're a tight end guy. I know I heard you talk about the tight end. I heard you, and this offense doesn't utilize the two tights in the passing game, and it could open up room for CeeDee Lamb and everybody if we use both of the tight ends in the passing game.
Right.
I don't even think Jake Ferguson has went out for a pass in the first 2 games.
Yeah, man. And I was a big proponent of 12 personnel, even last year with Jarwin. And I feel like when we line up in 12 personnel, a lot of people think it's just for the run game. But nah, you can still use it. And that's why I've been so vocal, Coach Marv, about getting a tight end that, quote unquote, can really stretch the field. Like one of those kind of dynamic, wide guys that you can kind of flex out and do a little bit of both, right? But the Cowboys kind of like the big blockier type tight ends just for run protection. I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen if you get a guy that has some wiggle to it, as I was saying, you can create a lot of mismatches because you got to respect the run, right? If you're in 12 personnel, but you also got to be aware of the passing game as well if you got a mismatch with those linebackers. And so, I thought with Jake Ferguson and also you got Peyton Hendershot, you might see them involved a little bit more in the pass game, but it ain't been nothing, man. It just hasn't been nothing. And I think that's the frustrating thing about Kellen Moore and play calling. We'll see a flash of it. Oh, it works. I've been a big, advocate, Coach Marr, about tempo. I did a whole video about how efficient the Cowboys are when they run up tempo. They came out versus Washington, tempo. I was pointing the TV. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. I was telling everybody in the chat. Here we go. Tempo. Offense was blazing. We never saw it again. Go back to the.
Well, you know something about the tempo?
Yeah.
You know something about the tempo, that gets me disturbed by the tempo? With this team, with our defenses being as good, I don't want our offense to rush. We need our offense to control the time possession for this defense to be great.
Right.
Now we want this defense to be good. And sometimes I think the tempo speeds us up into making bad decisions, bad plays, because we're rushing. Mm-hmm. But when you have I believe our offensive line is good. I felt it was good last year, just not used correctly. Mm-hmm. So again, if we can control the ball, we can make this defense great. But if we try to get to the point where we say we don't need the time possession, 70 plays last week with our defense is too many plays. That is too many plays for our defense to play.
Right.
So we need to curb that back. But one other thing, and I'm going to say this, Jay, something you might can watch this on film. Now, I have charted the Cowboys, their offense, and I have been a big opponent that our offensive passing game does not attack the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about the middle of the field. I'm talking about that 10 yards to 20 yards off the line script in between that part. Mm-hmm. Anytime our passing game, you look back from the last game, anytime we throw inside the numbers, in the middle of the field, we usually get big plays. Mm-hmm. But we have a tendency to do that, like you say with everything else. We'll strike the middle of the field on a big play, hit another big play. CeeDee Lamb caught 3 big plays on the big in the middle of the field, mm-hmm. and then we'll go to outside the numbers passing game, and we'll stay away from the middle of the field altogether. Mm-hmm. This is why I'm saying I just don't believe that Kellen Moore is he really a coordinator, and just like you say, he just might be a play designer. But I think he has some limitations in his design because all passing games supposed to threaten every part of the field, mm-hmm. and big plays come in the middle of the field. Right. If you win the middle of the field, you win the game. That's been in football since the history of football. And you win the middle of the field, you win the game.
Yeah, and exactly. So, and where was our big Achilles heel last year, right? They was running that cover 2 shell. How do you beat a cover 2? You stretch the seams in the middle of the field. That's why I've been kind of getting that tight end that can do that, or at least put a guy in the slot that's going to stretch that field and get up the seams. But, it's hard, Coach, because it's like a lot of things that we see. I don't understand how the hell I can see it from Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Why can't they see it in-house when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys? Because y'all getting paid millions of mega dollars to see it, and I think that Kellen Moore has to simplify things, go to your playmakers, and let this offense really evolve. But, we'll see how he does this week, man. But, hey, I appreciate you calling in my guy, man.
Tuck, I appreciate all your work, Jay Tuck.
Appreciate it.
And keep pushing, brother, and hopefully we'll get to meet one day when I get to Dallas and maybe we'll see you and we'll be at a game together.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Definitely let me know, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
Let's see here. What's going on in the chat, man? My guy TC says, I need that hat, Tuck. Where'd you find it, man? I got this. Like I said, I was probably, 8 years old when I got this hat, man. I just held on to it since a young buck, man. It still fits, you know what I'm saying? That was the good thing about, back in the day, we used to wear all of our stuff big and baggy, because now it still fits me as an adult. Like, I still got my starter jacket as well. It was like a 2X. Like, I don't know, like I was like a 10-year-old kid with a 2X jacket on, but, hey, future planning. Let's see here. Hey, caller, state your name. Where you from?
Carl Whittington.
Hey, Carl, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Not much, man. What's up? How you feeling?
I was just wanting to touch on this 2 tight end set. I believe that Hendershot and Ferguson would do fine without Schultz and stretch the seam.
Yeah. I agree. Now, there has been rumors that Dalton Schultz, I think if he practices, what is today? Today's Thursday, right? If he practices tomorrow, there could be a chance he's going to give it a go on Monday. But yeah, I like what I saw in preseason and also in camp from Peyton Hendershot and also for Jake Ferguson. I like Hendershot a lot, man. I feel like he has a little bit more wiggle than Ferguson, but Ferguson's plays solid. So, I feel like with the young guys, there's a huge opportunity to get them involved in the passing game. Like Coach Mark was just saying, we just got to see it really unfold.
Yeah, well, I think that Hendershot could be the Jarwin type, and that Ferguson could be the Schultz, and be the original plan, but a lot more successful.
Yeah, I agree. And also, you got to also consider, Dalton Schultz is franchise tag. Huge possibility we move on from him next year. So if that's the case, I need to see these young boys get some opportunities so you really know what you got going into the offseason. So like I said, right now it's all hands on deck. I need to see everybody really get involved, and you have 2 young tight ends that were emerging in camp, give them opportunity to see what they can do. Because like I said, a lot of people are just sitting on CeeDee Lamb trying to force you to beat you other ways. Definitely use the underneath game, the shallow game with these 2 young tight ends, and you can definitely move the chains and move the ball.
Right on. And if we use the 2 in the middle smash mouthing, which they're both extreme blockers,
right? Yeah.
What's that do for Lamb?
Right. Exactly. Because what's going to happen is it's going to create those situations where you got to play him one-on-one, and that's where you're going to really be able to see your opportunity. And I feel like when you look at the Giants specifically in their game planning, their linebacker core, like I said, isn't the best. And so I'll take the matchup with Jake Ferguson or Peyton Hendershot, and even Dalton Schultz if he's slightly limited versus their linebacker core. And so you force them, hey, are you going to play nickel, or are you going to sit in a 4-3 and play with 3 linebackers because we're running the ball down your throat? And then you get the gear spinning defensively as far as what the defense is going to do. So you got to play that chess match if you're Kellen Moore.
Yeah. Right. I still think, though, that the run game part in the middle against those linebackers with Hendershot or Ferguson blocking and Zeke running ain't a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and the one thing I'll say
I'm from Ohio, bro.
Ohio, yeah. So you ain't seen the best of Zeke. yeah, man. But I'll say this: the one thing also when it comes to the run game, it allows you to establish an identity with your offensive line. It lets them get in rhythm versus just being back in pass protection for the entire game. So why not let your offensive line establish their dominance and run the ball? Because when you run the ball, also, in the fourth quarter, it wears you down. I play defense, man. I know when you get those big tackles and guards breathing down your neck all game and you're in the fourth quarter, you're worn down and they're still running the ball down you, there's nothing you can do about it. It just changes your mental capacity. So, I would just like to see, like West Coast was just saying, just a game to see if Zeke can still got it. Give him 20 carries. I'm not being greedy and saying 30. Give him 20. Give Pollard a solid 15. I guarantee his offense is going to look completely different.
Right on. I agree. And the thing with the running game, the reason people say it wears the game down is on a running play, 20 people get hit.
Right.
On a passing play, 2 people get hit.
Right. Facts. Hit them in the mouth, man.
How many body shots can you take?
Right, exactly. Those body blows until eventually you fall, man. And that's when you hit them with the headshot. You strike them downfield because they're tired. They're grabbing on their shorts and your jerseys, and they're tired. And then there it goes. There's CeeDee Lamb or Noah Brown or Kevontae Turpin streaking up the field, and it's lights out. So yeah, it's just all about game planning. But it comes down to Kellen Moore and the offense establishing an identity, which if you watch the video, we just don't have one. We just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and go from there.
That's all Kellen Moore, man. We had an identity.
Yeah,
Dallas has always been a pounded in your face guy.
Right.
Team, like.
Yeah. Because you think about it,
we're not.
That's what Jason Garrett was trying to do when he drafted Zeke, right? He wanted to get big physical, I mean, because he moved on from free reign, right? You know, he wanted to get big physical offensive line and get the run game back and smash people in the mouth. And that's what he was trying to build. And then Kellen Moore wants to be, you know, high flying, you know, offensive, pass the ball 45 times, you know. And so, you know, I know there's always this contrast, pass the ball or run the ball, but it's just about balance and using the approach, because you have the offensive firepower, especially last year, where you can kind of hit them in a multitude of different ways. But this year, as of right now, the way the season's looking, the run game is the most opportune way to get out with this victory and keep things afloat while Dak is still, you know, out.
Well, I think, too, that they put way too much stock in their draft picks instead of talent, because we've had better people that they just went, look, we drafted somebody, so no.
Right.
Like Collins.
Right.
The offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Why ain't he here?
Yeah, and that's a magical question, you know, because we really could have kept a lot, and that's the frustrating part. If you look at the Cowboys from the standpoint, just from the cap, you know, and I don't want to dive into a whole cap segment, but, you know, a lot of the players that we moved on, we probably could have just kept and still would have been in perfect condition to sign who we signed in the offseason. Like, don't tell me that Mari Cooper and moving that from that money was the reason why we couldn't have signed Dante Fowler. We could have got Dante Fowler. Like, we could have got Anthony Barr. We could have got all these same players and kept the team that we had last year and just build some additional pillars on top of it. But we didn't do it, so we're here, man. So we got to find the most, you know, beneficial way to keep things afloat and find a way to win the season. So that's what it's really all about.
Yeah, they tried to sell us on that receiver core shortage, but
it just never looked. It just
guy, and that's what they didn't replace.
And here's how I know.
Lost.
And here's Carl, how I knew I didn't trust here's how I knew I didn't trust the wide receivers, because there was too many names popping up all camp. You know, you had TJ Vasher, then you had Noah Brown, then you had Dennis Houston, and then you had Jalen Tolbert, and then it was like there's way too many names that I'm here. You know, like Semi Fioco.
What about Brandon Smith?
Brandon Smith. Like, there were so many names, and I feel like the Cowboys were just throwing names at the wall, just hoping someone stuck. And I feel like even right now, nothing has really stuck. So they're kind of just going with it. Like, okay, well, you know, we had Dennis Houston, who started 2 games. We just waived him, put him on the practice squad. Now we're gonna give Semi a try, and if Semi doesn't try, then maybe we'll try Tolbert. You know, it's just, you know, just go get you some guys that you know can contribute to the team right now, and just not have to worry about it. But hey, you know, it just is what it is, man.
Yeah, we just plain need that stretch the seam guy, because that's what Gallup is. He's hurt, and you can see him miss in every game.
Right.
There's nobody that's that, oh, God, he's gone.
Right.
They don't use Turpin for that, even though the dude can literally dunk a basketball 10 foot 6 in the air.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Ant-Man.
Get the ball over a guy that's 6 foot tall. I mean,
right. Yeah, give him a shot.
How that adds up, but
give him a shot, put it on film, and I guarantee they'll respect it moving forward. But we'll see what Kellen dials up on Monday, my guy.
Right, but just think about him getting 3 shots a game of 50-yard passes.
Right.
What's that do to the defense?
Backs him up. You know.
Yep. Can they stack up on a run?
No, I'm gonna have to keep those safeties out the box, and so yeah, because all it's gonna do
stack up on the run.
It's gonna make you know. And like I said, I play defense. It'll make your heart skip a little bit once you see that. There we go. You know,
get it. It's like, how did he not get it?
Yeah,
I played high school ball and got hurt and couldn't play anymore.
Yeah. So,
and I can get it.
Yeah. It'll make your heart skip.
They're making millions and can't get it.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, crazy. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you for calling in, man. Go Cowboys, man. Let's get this victory on Monday night.
Right. Go Cowboys.
Peace. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate, man, y'all for rocking with me for so long. We got a lot of new people coming into the video, into the chat, and they don't know what we know, Cowboys Nation. That's why y'all gonna hit that notification bell. So it's gonna be some people like, what are y'all talking about, right? But, you know, you gotta hit the notification bell. You gotta tune into the shows, because y'all probably got a bomb dropped earlier that a lot of people probably won't even know to talk about. So like I said, man, if I get assassinated, y'all know where to go look. But like I said, I just want to get that information out there to y'all. Do whatever you want with it, man. If y'all want to share it, talk about it, whatever, man. It just is what it is. The Cowboys want to create a circus. Let's give them a show, man. But it's your boy Jay Tuckman. I appreciate all the support, man. Appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. Like I said, we got a lot to do on this channel. We're going to have some guests to break down this New York Giants Monday night matchup, trying to get that all in sync. Like I said, I will now be in the building versus the Washington Commanders. It's a noon game. Y'all know I don't do noon games, man, but I figure, like, why not? So I'm definitely going to sit out there and root on my Cowboys. Like I said, even though I do not agree with the front office, y'all, I'm going to ride for my team. Like, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think people get that messed up. Like, Tucker being negative. No. I'm booing Jerry and Steven Jones. You know, I'm booing Kellen Moore. Micah getting all the praise. You know, Dak's getting all the praise. Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, they getting all the praise, man. It's just these guys upstairs who I'm not happy with, man, because I feel like they're not putting these guys and setting them up for success and put them in the best situation. But like I said, no matter what, y'all, don't let nobody take y'all pride. You're a Cowboys fan. You bleed it. I bleed it. I don't care. We can win. We can win 2 games tonight. Whatever, bro. I'm gonna drop some draft content. We'll be right back talking next year. It just is what it is. If you think the Cowboys losing is gonna shut me up, you must just don't know me, man. I'm always going to represent for my team, but I appreciate y'all support, man. So comment, like, subscribe, follow me on all social media platforms, JTuck151. For y'all who do not know, I'm also covering college football this year, so I'll be out there for the big, it's kind of crazy, right? Football, Kansas versus Duke football game. You know, Kansas is 3-0. They finally just sold out their very first game in like 12 years, man. So I'm gonna be out there covering that game, be up in the press box and doing all that fun stuff. And then also, you know, CFO Sports Talk to get your merch, man. I appreciate all the support. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And if they get me, y'all, and I end up missing, y'all know exactly where to look. Peace.